Hey, what's up, guys? I just cleared Batrider again, and thought I'd just come on here and talk a little bit about it. This time I cleared it with Strawman-S type. So, as probably a lot of people know, depending on which button you press when selecting your character in Batrider, if you press the A button, it boosts your shot. B boosts your option. C boosts both option and shot, but it reduces your speed by a little bit. The one I did for this run was S or D. I've seen it referred to as, which is just basically it's you press the start button and it increases your speed, but it also makes your options and shot go down by a level. So it's not really that common, I've noticed, among people, but usually in my past runs I've always just done type C just because I like that extra power, but some of the slower ships it could really be a detriment because you'll be really slow. But usually I don't mind playing with slower ships in shmups, but I hadn't cleared the game with an S-type yet, so I wanted to give it a try, and I actually was just trying out different ships that I've already cleared the game with, and I was trying with the S type, and Strawman was the first one that I got it with. Yeah, I took in a little break from playing Batrider for maybe like 2 weeks or so, but randomly on a couple days ago, I was just like, I got an itch to play it again, and it's just trying to do like a little challenge for myself, try out the S type, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, the first couple stages, not much to say, but I guess I'll talk a little bit about kind of my history with the game. So, or I guess my history with shmups in general, but I'm still somewhat new to playing shmups, like at least like seriously. I first started playing them back in 2021, I think, and yeah, I hadn't really even I didn't know anything about these games. Like the only real shmup I knew about, I guess, and it's debatable whether you want to call it a shmup, is like Galaga, or I forgot the one with the other name. It's not Galaxian, but yeah, not Space. I guess it would have been Galaga. Yeah, I played it like a pizza restaurant when I was like a kid, and it also played like Metal Slug, which is more of a running gun, but that's besides the point, I guess. But yeah, that was so. For the longest time, whenever I would see, like twin stick shooters, or I'm sure I'd seen other shmups like during the 360 era, and I always just avoided these kind of games because I thought they were just kind of like cheap, like quarter grabber kind of games. But was I wrong? Because I was always wanting to play games that were, you could spend a lot of time in, they were super deep, and that's basically, these games are exactly that. It's kind of crazy. Like some shmups I've put way more time in than some of my most played like single player games. Like I've played Mushihime-sama probably more than Elden Ring and any of the Dark Souls games, or Persona 5. Some of those like long RPGs. So yeah, but in 2021, I was like getting back more into Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and stuff, and I had gotten EverDrive cartridges, and when I got those, I just downloaded pretty much the whole catalogs for each console, and was looking up like best games for Super Nintendo, best games for Genesis, and that's how I found Gradius 3, Parodius, Musha, the list goes on, all the good shoot 'em ups on Genesis. And I didn't start off like being super obsessed with them, but they just definitely grew on me over the next couple of years, and You know, now I'm at the point where I don't even really play other games, which is I kind of have mixed feelings about. But you know, I'm just, if it's fun, it's fun, and if I'm enjoying myself, I'm enjoying myself. You know, sometimes when, you know, like the new games come out, like I think it was like Hollow Knight or whatever, Persona 3 when that came out, like I tried getting into it, and you know, I got decently far in Persona 3, but I think I was like on the last dungeon, but you know, I just ended up wanting to go back to playing these types of games. So, you know, I'm just kind of at the point where I don't really want to waste money on a new big release if I'm not even going to end up finishing it, and I usually just end up wanting to, you know, play these anyways. So, but yeah, that's been more the case for the last like 2 years or so, where all I've really been wanting to play is shmups, and I've got more serious about them, and you know, started chasing clears, and you know, trying to learn these games. And Batrider normal, the normal mode in this game, it's just like the first 5 stages, and that was like one of the first arcade games on MAME that I got like really hooked on. And yeah, it's a fun game, and I love that this game has, like, you know, different modes. There's like the training, which I haven't really messed around with at all, and I really don't see many people talking about it, but the normal mode is pretty popular, and you know, I can't recommend it enough to people who are new, because I think it's a great mode to get, you know, used to Rising games and get, you know, get a feel for these games without, you know, putting in a crazy amount of time trying to route out. Oh yeah, so right there I actually dropped my metal chain, but in this run I'm not really playing for score too much. You know, at some point I would like to, you know, try to get a big score in Batrider, but I was just trying, in this run I'm just trying to be able to reach the 6 mil extend, which actually is pretty sure it ends up being pretty clutch. But one of the things I really like about Batrider is the rank. You know, I feel like a lot of Rising games, which is warranted, have kind of a reputation for the crazy rank, you know, but it's not too bad in Batrider. I didn't mention it at the beginning, but I did start this run. So before you know, start up the game and everything, you go in the dip switch settings and put the test switch on, and it goes into the service mode, and it's like basically like the options for an arcade game. And the first thing on the list is game mode, and so what you want to do is press the start button, the first player start, and it will reset the rank of the game. So I'd highly recommend doing that, because yeah, it helps out a lot. So I do that in that run to kind of start the rank out low. And if you've played normal before, I don't think that there's a huge rank increase from playing on advanced, like the first few stages, like the first 5 stages, I mean. Like, it's really not, besides a couple different patterns, like the lasers in the sewer level are actually like lasers instead of just shooting out balls. But besides that, I really don't notice that much of a difference in the first 5 stages from normal. The rank might be a little bit more increased, but it's not too terribly crazy. So yeah, we're getting into stage 5. I like to do this stage order because depending on what stage order you do, you'll fight a different boss at the end of stage 5. And Sobert or Sherbert or whatever his name is, I don't know if it's a girl actually, but whatever. I like that boss, stage end boss, because it seems to be the easiest, and they're also pretty cool because they have like they're like spider themed, and they kind of like shoot their web at you. And regardless, I would recommend doing this stage order. So sewer, the sky level, sky high, and then airport. And then stage 5, I actually try to do the hidden extend, you let the first tank, not this guy, if you let this guy get all the way to the end and kill him, you can get a big bomb. And so I was trying to, if I would have killed him, I would have got an extra extend, but I wasn't even going to pick it up anyways, because, so I just took another death. So one thing that is really makes this game a lot easier is trying to go for the special extend. So what you want to do is let 3 extends drop without picking them up, and then when you pick up the 4th one, it will give you 2 extra lives instead of 1, and it won't have like a crazy rank increase. So, you know, if you're on your last life, it gives you max lives. And one thing to kind of keep in mind about the rank in this game is if you have 2 lives and you pick up an extend to max out your lives, it's going to shoot your rank up like crazy. So that's why the special extend is insanely clutch. So I'd highly recommend it. And so I'm at 3 mil right now, and I've so far gotten 1 extend drop. And if I would have got that, you know, the tank or whatever, I would have had 2, and then I'm at 3 mil right now. So at the beginning of this stage, I'll, you know, have another extend drop. And then the next one would have been my special extend, which is super important because I have no lives left. But so basically, so there's my second one right now. Another thing that I kind of just like learned this randomly, and it was like I hadn't really seen a lot of people talk about it, but if you let 3 big bomb items go without picking them up, it will give you an extend. So that's another way to kind of reach that special extend a lot faster without, you know, trying to go all the way up and letting the 15, the first extend, the 3 mil, the 45, and then you would have to get all the way to the 6 mil, which, you know, unless you're really hardcore scoring, you're not really going to get that till the last boss, which, you know, as you could see in this run, I'm already on my last life. You know, I had some petty deaths, easily avoidable deaths, but I think that's part of the reason why I love Batrider so much is it's not as strict as, you know, something like a cave game where, you know, it could be really difficult to come back from an early death in stage 2. So if you actually kill each of the turrets on those tanks, the one that was in the middle, you'll get a big bomb item if you kill the 2 side things. I messed up on that one, so I didn't get it, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get, there's 2 on this stage, so about to get another one. But yeah, so I think it was like 2 years ago that I had first cleared normal mode, and it'd always been on my like Schmup bucket list, I guess you could say, on, you know, games I wanted to clear, to do the advanced mode. And for the longest time, I was so intimidated to do the advanced mode. I, you know, thought it was super hard, but I hadn't really tried it out. You know, I think at one point, like, I was like just curious to see how it was, and you know, I went through the first 5 stages, not too bad, and then once I got to this stage, I was like immediately getting like clipped, and you know, it just seemed way too hard at the time. So I didn't come back to it until, you know, it was only a couple months ago that I finally got into advanced mode. And it's probably worth mentioning too, if you're interested in clearing advanced mode, there's some really good guides here on YouTube. I watched Pearl's guide and Hazy Levels' guide. Both of them are extremely helpful. I'll probably link them in the description of the video. But so here it's coming up is that 2 turret tank thing. So I kill those 2 turrets on the top, and then there's the big bomb. And I let the 2 go in the beginning of stage 4, so that was the 3 right there. And there's the 3rd extend that I'm letting drop. This mini boss right here, if you just go all the way up to the top like that, it's basically like a free kill. Like it's no risk. These guys can be pretty annoying though, but I usually just try to get right up on top of them and then go to the left side to kind of seal those bullets if I didn't kill the one on the right like I did there. One thing about this game is that bullet ceiling is super OP. And these two like mad ball things, if you bomb these guys and kill like all the little turret parts, it gives you a crazy amount of points. I only bombed it once just to conserve. Oh, I bombed it twice. But if you bomb all the turrets on those things, I think you'll get like 1,000,000 points, which I didn't, take full advantage of. I didn't bomb all the turrets on the second one, but I was trying to save my bombs for the boss, but because I knew I was going to probably bomb here too. I always bomb this section, but I hang out on the left because I didn't get all the ones on the right, and take advantage of the bullet ceiling. And now we're coming up on Grubby. He's a pretty cool boss. He reminds me of like a Toaplan boss or something. You can really see the Toaplan. Like, I don't know how many people from Toaplan went on to work at Rising, but you can really see it. It looks like a boss from like Dog Yun or something. So if you hang out on the bottom of those like lines in the background, you can it's like a safe spot for those. And then this guy, you just twirl around and then use the let go of your shot and do the aura. And this is the scary pattern right here, which usually, if you have a wide shot, you just go right back and forth and hopefully get everything. When the middle starts firing, usually I like to have a bomb for that, because it could be, depending on the RNG and your luck, you might get like if it does a flamethrower like that, it can be kind of hard to take out without a bomb. So I just do a safety bomb just for good measure, and we're going into the last stage. I got 3 lives in stock. Sitting pretty right now. Okay, so yeah, just be careful at the beginning of this part, because your hitbox is being covered by like that top part. But we're coming. I don't know what it's actually called, but I call this the office section, because the dude is like at like an office desk, and you just try to kill the turrets on the side. And I actually think I skipped, like somehow I killed him really fast, which one thing that was kind of crazy to me was I thought, doing the speed type, that I would be super underpowered and it would take a lot longer to kill bosses, but I didn't really notice that much of a difference between the speed type and the, playing with type C, because I also did type C with Strawman, and besides the shot looking a little bit underpowered compared to C, it doesn't really feel like, your ship does that less of damage. This part is pretty scary, the test tube section. And I actually take a death, but I'm not too far away from the last extend that I'm gonna reach in the run, so this part you just tap dodge back and forth. And it's not too bad. I like to use a bomb though. I think I use both my bombs just for safe measures. Okay. So this next section before the final boss discharge, this is like a huge opportunity for getting a lot of bombs. If you kill these like flamethrower guys like while they're revving up their fire before they start shooting it out, you'll get a big bomb item. But I think in this section I didn't even get any of them, but there's a lot of like little bomb fragments that you can pick up, so it's not totally I mean, I don't even have a full bomb right here, but it's whatever. The next section that's coming up though, it's usually advised to try to use a bomb, because it's kind of a scary section. Sometimes I can get away with, not using a bomb here. This is the part right here I was talking about, but I think I just do a bomb just to be careful. And I think, from what I've heard, I don't know how much it raises a rank. If you use a bomb while not having a full bomb in stock, it increases a rank a little bit, more than usual. So that's probably something to keep in mind, that you don't want to just spam your bomb fragments. And this section, it looks pretty scary, but you don't want to move too quickly, It helps with a wide shot, but there's a lot of these tanks that you can run into, and that can be like kind of like the dangerous part of this. So I'm going into this last section with, you know, not even 2 bombs. I think well, 2 bombs. This part scared the crap out of me when I first started, but if you can get up and point blank him, you can destroy like his little sidearms, so he's not doing that spread attack, which, I took a death right there. But a good way to look at things in this game is if you take a death like that, you know, all you're doing is just lowering the rank. So here, I like to go up there and kill them before they can fire shots, because these guys are super scary. Like, if they do start firing, the best thing, hopefully, is that they shoot the laser and not like the huge spread shot that they sometimes shoot out. Okay, so here's Discharge. He's not as bad. He is probably he's the thing that gave me the most trouble in this game, but his first section isn't too bad. So I usually bomb him, and then when he gets to this part, I don't shoot anymore at him. I just, you know, go around the world, and then when he starts firing that lower pattern, I just do the aura attack on him. I learned this from Pearl's Guide. Extremely helpful, because yeah, if you just try to fight this part normally, his like arms start shooting different like lasers and stuff at you, and so that's all that was. And we're going to his little laser section, and I'm about to get my 6mm extend right there, and you know, we're looking pretty again. Got 2 extends going into the last section, fully powered up. Got 2.5, almost 3 bombs. So this part, it's always going to be pretty much the same. Like, he's going to do it in the middle, and then I believe he does it going left. Yeah, he's doing it left, and then he does it just static again, and then just goes to the right, and then it just goes, you know, back and forth, so on and so forth. And your main thing is you're just going to want to try to dodge those orange balls, which I think I do get overwhelmed in one section and bomb. I'm not 100%. Yeah, I actually got through that section without a bomb. So because I had took that death earlier, the rank is super low, and I'm getting like his easy patterns right now. And so, you know, when I mentioned earlier, this pattern is super easy. So if the rank is high, he's going to be doing that green laser in like shooting swords or like shooting another pattern at you, which is super difficult to dodge. But I got lucky. So this section, this is his last real section. So I'm kind of trying to shoot the side thing, because if you can kill one of the sides, it makes the rest of this super easy. I still have a whole live in stock, and I just killed that left one, so once he starts swirling and start doing the laser, you know he's about to die. Okay. So he's gonna do the laser, and then I take a death, but, you know, he's pretty much dead. So there we go. That's by Batrider Advanced. Yeah, so it's not too bad. Originally, I had, you know, thought this game was way harder than it actually is. Like, if you look on there's like a 1cc ranking list on the Schmup's forum, and it has Batrider ranked all the way at like 25, which is like one rank below Grega, which, you know, I haven't cleared Grega, so I can't fully say, you know, how hard or how easy it is, or I'm sure I won't say it's easy once I clear it, but this definitely feels way easier from the little I've played of Grega, and from what I've heard people say. I've never heard anybody say, oh yeah, Grega's easy. Even like really high level players, I've heard, you know, it's a hard game, and this, I feel like it's a lot more manageable, especially with that special extend, and, you know, knowing how to get extra lives faster, like with the dropping the big bombs and getting the hidden extend on stage 5. Like, you know, the game gives you a lot of lives, a lot of bombs. You know, there's so many ships to pick from, and there's this one. I picked the S-type. It's not as good as, you know, picking Strawman-C, but it really wasn't that big of a difference. Like, I'm pretty used to the game at this point, and I'm used to playing with Strawman as Type C, so maybe that's why. But yeah, if you know you're trying to get advanced mode clear, I know a lot of people say Maria is the best, Maria C. I highly recommend trying out Shorty, either Shorty B or Shorty C. For me, that was like the easiest first time clear, just because her bomb is so ridiculous. Yeah, sometimes playing with like the special characters can be a little bit more difficult, like the ones from the other games, the Maho characters and Grega characters, because you have that risk of fighting the extra bosses. But yeah, so that was Batrider Advanced. Didn't have too bad of a score, 7.3 mil. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'm probably just gonna dip out now. Hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.